How do you have time to do a one sitting of Zack Snyder's Justice League?
He tells his wife and children to go upstairs. Daddy's got to watch the Snyder Cut again.
Look at me. I need 8 hours.
He goes downstairs with a bottle of Bacardi.
Nobody bother
and 2
me.
liters
I'm locking the
of Diet
door.
Coke.
I'm ordering
those
pizza.
popcorn things.
Hello and welcome to the Infinity Bros podcast, the only podcast who's perfectly balanced, as all things should be. My name is Isaac Edlin. I am your host tonight, and I am joined by two other Infinity Bros. The first is my very good friend and Infinity Bro. It's Max Mosier, the prodigal son of the Infinity Bros podcast. How you doing, Max?
Doing well. Grateful to be here. Thanks for having me back. Very excited to be talking about Toy Story 5.
It's going to be a good time. The other Infinity Bro is the tinfoil hat distributor of the Infinity Bros universe. It's Mark Jones. How you doing, Mark?
Glad to be here. Just a little miffed that I also wasn't a friend, but a tinfoil hat distributor. I'll take that. Whatever. Is what it is.
Yeah, he said very good friend too. So it was like
I didn't even get
not a friend. You didn't even get friend. It was like three levels.
Very
lower.
good friend. Good friend.
Very good friend. I consider all of you guys my very good friend. I just didn't verbalize it for Max.
You have to rank us. Who's number one?
Oh gosh,
it's Mark. We're cool guys. We can go ahead and say that out loud. It's fine.
I'll go with Robbie since he hasn't been on the podcast for 6 months or something. We'll go with Robbie. Calling him out right now. So speaking of that, the Infinity Bros are a group of 5 guys that rotate and talk about pop culture. So if you
I'm sorry, I'm jonesing for 5 guys. I haven't had 5 guys in
5 guys
so long. Max knows how much I want 5 guys.
I have World Cup fever and am devastated that Cape Verde lost to Argentina today. That was so tough. I wanted that so bad.
I mean, the fact that you are watching other people not called USA is impressive, Max. So
I love World Cup soccer. I think it's electric. And USA Belgium, I'm calling it now 2-0.
Do you watch soccer when the World Cup isn't on?
I'll watch sometimes like international leagues. I won't watch MLS.
More or less than you watch Laker games?
Way less. What are we talking about? I watch Laker games all the time. I just don't have to
all the time.
Yes, I watch. If it's on my TV and I'm home, I watch it.
How often is it on your TV when you're home?
Well, it depends on how often I'm home throughout the year. But yes,
convenient, isn't it?
If you want to hear more banter like this and a few other things that we talk about, including a quick review of The Invite, a 24 movie that is releasing next week in theaters, you can check out our Patreon where we just chat about life and other things that are on our mind that we're not talking about the main episode. But you can support us for $2 a month, and we would really, really appreciate it. Helps us bring episodes like this to you.
And it helps us feed Zane.
Yeah, what did you say last episode again?
How many? 3 days.
3 days. $2 feeds Zane for 3 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, help us get Zane a full belly and a Baja Blast. $2 a month, and you can check that out in the show notes. But today we are going to be talking Toy Story 5, which just dropped in theaters a couple weeks ago. We're also at the end of the show going to be doing our top 6 Pixar films, so stay tuned for that as well. But we're going to dive into Toy Story 5 first. Toy Story 5 is obviously the 5th installment of the Toy Story franchise, if you couldn't catch that from the title. Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and the rest of the gang's jobs are challenged when they're introduced to electronics, a new threat to playtime. Tom Hanks comes back to be Woody. Tim Allen comes back to be Buzz. Joan Cusack comes back to be Jessie. And we get a lot of the original gang in very, very small roles as well. But it's a very fascinating, interesting commentary on electronics in kids' lives today. And we're going to start it off with maybe just a little chat on where the Toy Story franchise is. So coming into this, guys, did you guys feel like Toy Story 4 or 5 was like a necessary addition to this franchise? Because I feel like Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 make almost a perfect trilogy, honestly. Where you guys sit on just continuing to plot on with the Toy Story franchise?
I don't feel that way. I hate 3. 3 is like my least favorite. So
Wow.
there it is.
Okay.
I
That's
enjoyed
interesting.
4 and I enjoyed this one. Did not enjoy 3, but love 1 and 2. So I just like the continuation of these toys and see what they end up doing, because eventually they're gonna have to outlive all humans and conquer the world, right? Like that's obviously the outcome. They're gonna come with the 6th one or 7th one.
Eventually.
I don't agree with Mark. I loved 3. I thought 3 was a definitive conclusion. I've heard some people argue Toy Story 3 is the actual end of a trilogy, and I would agree with that. I think 4 was a little more unnecessary than this one, and I'll kind of get into that when we review it. But yeah, I think 5 makes a lot more sense after having 4. I also think 3 just really does a tremendous job of emotionally tying up everything that happened with the journey when they were in the Andy era of his house.
I'm with you on that. I also love 3, so I'm really fascinated. Kind of want to hear a little bit more about Mark's hatred of 3, but I'm sure we'll probably talk about that later. So let's get into Toy Story 5, though. I want to hear a non-spoiler review. You guys can just give like a 60-second, what did you guys think of Toy Story 5, and then your rating at the end of it. Mark, why don't you go ahead?
Sure. Well, I saw Saul lead the scene. I went with my oldest daughter, who's 4 years old, right after martial arts and going to McDonald's.
Nice.
So
Ooh,
that
that's
was
a
the
great
scene.
day.
So we came just right as the movie was starting. So we get our seats, middle row. And so yeah, anyway, so how I felt about Toy Story 5 going with my daughter is just, I thought it was good adventure. There were some heartfelt moments. I really enjoyed the real bad guy is technology. I kind of enjoyed that aspect. I know some people didn't like how that was fleshed out at the end, which I could see that. But honestly, it very much felt like a Jessie movie too. So like I feel like that was kind of your main character. I really enjoyed the aspect of the characters Bonnie and Blaze like becoming friends at the end, because like we get both sides, like they just can't make friends. So it was like that also was a heartfelt moment there as well. But yeah, and my rating, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 6. I thought it was good.
Max, what did you think of Toy Story 5?
I was very excited for this movie because I think when you talk about tech, toys, parenting, and the effect it has on kids, and this movie addresses that, there's just a lot of potential to really dig into some very honest conversations around how millennials who grew up with this show are raising their kids. So I think it's a movie that is needed, ironically. Like the whole 3 to 5 thing, I've heard a lot of people say there shouldn't be any after 3. I think this movie's ideas and questions are needed, and as well as when should a parent give tech, as well as bullying online. Those types of questions are addressed. Very heavy topics are addressed in this movie, and I don't think it did well in handling it. I think it tried to handle it well, but I don't think it had resolution that I wanted that to happen. I wanted, as somebody watching this, to see. I really wonder if John Lasseter, who is huge and quintessential leading up to, his last one was 3. Maybe he was on 4. I forget when 4 was released. But him not being in this, I think, really mattered. And this is one of, unfortunately, in my opinion, Pixar's weaker movies, but it has a ton of funny stuff and a ton of great moments. So I still think it's a really funny watch, and I think there will be a lot of kids and parents that really enjoy it. Mark's right. There's great adventure in this, and it is a Jessie movie. So I wonder if they could have just called it that and gone away from some other characters and just maybe addressed it that way. So I gave it a 4.2 out of 6. I think it was okay. I don't think it was great. I think it had potential to be the best Toy Story movie if it had landed on those things, and it just didn't. So
I do like your idea of just bringing it like Jessie, but I think you can't really do that. You have to call it Toy Story to get people in the seats.
not if you put Buzz and Woody to the side, which they could have done easily.
I don't know. I don't know if that would have drawn the same amount of people, but I get what you're saying.
We'll talk about it more on after the spoiler review.
I kind of am coming from a little bit of an in between place from both of you guys. I feel like it did do a pretty good job of talking about technology and came to a pretty good resolution on that topic. I fall on the side of I think that Toy Story 4 and 5 are a little unnecessary. However, does that mean that I'm not going to go see them and not enjoy them? Not at all. Toy Story 4, I was actually a little peeved that they were coming out with. And after I watched it, I was like, you know what? There's still fun to be had in this universe. There's still things that they can do and stories that they can tell. So I'm okay with them continuing. Would I love to see more original stuff like Hoppers that they came out with earlier this year? Yes, absolutely.
Agreed.
But Toy Story 5, I'm obviously seated. Like this is a franchise that we've been invested in since we were kids. So I'm there. My kids love Toy Story. It was fun. It was good. It definitely had a little bit of an air of like a direct to TV sequel to me. Like, you know, back in the day when Disney was in their heyday of animation, Cinderella, all the stuff leading up through the 60s, 70s, and then into the 90s, they had a lot of those direct to VHS sequels that like some of us probably haven't even seen because they just like were
They're
so
all on
terrible that
Disney
nobody
Plus.
heard of them. All of Disney Plus. Yeah, they
We have
are
watched them
all
in
on
this
Disney
house.
Plus. Exactly. But this had, and this, I will say, is much better than 99%, maybe all of them. But it had a little bit of a wisp of a feel of a direct to TV sequel, which I was a little like, oh man, I'm not a fan of that. I did like Jessie's story. That was great. All of the other characters were sidelined big time. Like we had one line from pretty much every other character in this. So I wasn't crazy about that. I do love always getting, you know, Woody and Buzz back and involved and stuff. And we had some good new characters that were introduced as well. So still fun, still definitely an okay sequel, but I don't think this is going to, you know, sit super high on any type of list of mine. So I also gave it a 4.5 out of 6. Serviceable, still fun to watch. Definitely not high on the list of sequels, though. That's our thoughts. We are going to go into spoilers here in a couple minutes. So this is your official spoiler warning for Toy Story 5.
This is
Prepare yourself.
an Infinity Bros
Prepare yourself.
spoiler warning.
Let's get into it a little bit. Mark, you kind of already mentioned in your non-spoiler review some of the things that happened in this movie, which you tend to do sometimes.
Non-spoiler reviews are for
He's
That last
he's
episode
actually
with
doing
non-spoiler reviews
Like,
are for
you,
non-spoiler
you
reviews.
spoiled a pretty big thing in that
I love
movie,
it.
Mark. I was like, oh my
Why
gosh.
would you-
Literally,
if you
the
wanted
last episode are like, it's kind of spoilery, but I guess we're gonna have to.
I know. Do you hear me hosting? Like I was like redirecting him. I'm like, no, it's okay, Mark. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just hold on. You can do this. 30 more seconds.
I should just give my rating and then go into the spoilers.
Something that you said at the end of your non-spoiler review was the friendship that was made between Blaze and Bonnie. I thought that was maybe the best part of this movie, along with kind of the message of how electronics can be a huge detriment, but also if they're used correctly, can, you know, play a huge part in kids' lives today as well, which they
Right.
almost have to be, like just with the way society is. But that was really cool running narrative of the friendships and how difficult it is for kids to, you know, meet and make friends and stuff like that. And I don't know, I agree with you that that part really was touching. And that's something that Toy Story is just good at, is getting touching emotional moments. Like, and maybe we want to touch on this a little bit now, or maybe we want to save it for later, but like Toy Story 3 wrecked me. I don't know how you, Mark, are coming out of Toy Story 3 being like, that was a terrible movie, because
I saw
there
it
were
in
some
theaters.
heavy emotional moments in that movie that I was
Oh,
definitely
cool. Like I
tearing
saw it
up
in
at.
theaters and didn't like that. So I'd been 2010,
Yeah.
and then I think I went as an adult. I don't know if I went by myself or with family or whatever, but then I've watched it recently, last few months, a few times, and I'm still like, Nah, and I get choked up at movies pretty easily, and I'm still like,
What is it? What is it
I
about
don't
Toy
know.
Story 3 that you didn't like?
I don't know, man. Don't know what to tell you. Just still the bottom of the Toy Story movies for me.
That moment at the end of Toy Story 3 when they're
Okay.
like about to die in the incinerator,
I kind of
I
wish
was
they did.
legit like crying and like freaking out at that point. Like I'm like, the toys are gonna die? What's happening here? That was crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm not with you there, Mark, but I totally dig the hot take. So carry on.
Where do you think toys go when they die?
Toy heaven or
Toy
toy
heaven?
hell?
Does that
Or toy hell.
does that mean that there's a toy god and a toy devil?
Toy Jesus?
Maybe it's
Did toys
toy.
die for their
toy.
sins?
Maybe it's toy reincarnation.
Well
Time is
said.
a flat circle.
Yeah.
So that's a
Great
callback to
Patreon
anyone that
topic.
listened to the Patreon.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is a direct callback to the Patreon episode. Another selfless plug there. I think too, and this movie's got legs to make $1 billion. It's over 500 million as of recording this. So internationally, once those numbers start pulling through, I think it's gonna make $1 billion. Isaac, you make a great point that I didn't really think about, but you said it in your non-spoiler. It's these Toy Story movies, the brand itself probably generates $1 billion as long as it has somewhat standards when it comes to effort and the same voices. And they did that. I think for me, what really makes me struggle with this movie is I feel like Woody and Buzz were useless. I felt like Buzz, they did the whole thing right out the gate with the multiple Buzz Lightyears, and that took more screen time. And I'm cool with the Jessie movie. I don't know. Maybe we could have just had a Jessie movie, but probably you're right. The Toy Story branding behind it gives it a little more legs. And it just Tom Hanks and Tim Allen were not utilized in this movie. And when I think of Toy Story, I think of those two characters. They are quintessential to those stories. And I seriously felt like you could make an argument for me that Buzz was part of it, but man, Woody in particular was just
compared to the last
nowhere
movie,
near it.
Buzz was like barely used compared to this movie where it seems like
Toy Story 4 was a weird movie for Buzz, yeah.
Yeah, and in addition, Woody essentially, the end of 4 put Woody off the team. It put him off the roster. The whole point of 4 was see you later. Woody's done. And then
they just roll up immediately and he's back. Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. Kind of take some of that weight out of 4 to bring him back immediately without any questions or anything. Like they're just like, oh, yeah, okay, he's back. Cool.
Yeah. I really felt that was just annoying. And this was tough. In regards to the screen time thing, I loved the first act and how they set this up. I don't think they could have set it up any better with Greta Lee, who is awesome. She is such a good actress in The Morning Show on Apple TV. Yeah. I love her in that show. She is like, you don't know if she's a villain or a hero. She plays that so well in this character. And the scene that is just honestly freaky and a cultural parallel to our world is when they're on the roof and they look and every kid's just on their iPad. It's just terrifying. Freaky. Yep. And she's the only one who's not. This kid's the only one that's not. And then her parents do it. And every viewer is like, no. And we all know what happens from there. And I feel like this movie was needed to be told. And I have serious issues. And Mark and I, we were texting about this offline, actually, because I just told him, I was like, I'm going to be super interested to hear what you have to say. I'm not telling people how to parent, and nor do I have any issues with people using iPads or screens to parent. There are times where if you don't have young kids, you will understand. There are moments where long trips or I need to execute a task and I do need you to be distracted, but safe. Mm-hmm. And so I do think that it's not bad from that perspective, but there's also a level of we need to probably have a serious conversation as a society around how much are we using these screens with our kids? How much are we hurting these kids? And to get this beautiful, haunting, so real scene of Bonnie getting at 8 or 9 years old cyberbullied. Oh. And then she wakes up the next morning and the first thing she does is grab her iPad was so spot on, terrifying. I'm sitting next to my daughter. I'm in tears watching her receive this news. And she can't tell her parents. And I'm like, you nailed it. You nailed exactly what's going on. And then for the third act to be, no, we need lily pad. I just don't agree with that decision. And I think lily pad needed to be a full-fledged, like Sid, like these other characters who have been villains. She needed to be that. And they kind of redeemed her and kept her around. And I think the reason is because Disney didn't want to make a big line in the sand statement on don't do this or do it within reason. I just don't buy that. And I think you guys are right. The decision for Bonnie and her friend to become buddies, I think it was earned, but how, at what cost? They're still using, she still has a computer in her room. I don't love that. I don't love in an era where teenage girls start maturing in their frontal lobe quicker when they're exposed to this stuff. We're being told that's cool. There's just some things I personally disagree with, I think. And that's probably going to affect my rating. But the lily pad thing I thought was such a perfect conversation to have. And maybe that's what will happen from this movie. Maybe these types of conversations are occurring and that will move the needle. But yeah, I couldn't get behind that. That was a really hard thing for me.
It definitely had some hard conversations, or is a great movie to like start some hard conversations, not only just for kids but for parents. So like how are we managing this, I mean, something that you should be talking about already, but sometimes we need a little reminder, like you said. I mean,
oh yeah,
I fall into that all the time. I love video games, so I want my kids to play video games with me. And when I want them to play video games with me, sometimes I have to go do something and they're still sitting on their Switches or whatever, like it happens. We all follow into it. But there is that kind of reminder of like, hey, there's this other real life out there that you need to go and do and have, instead of just being glued to your screen all day. And the waking up in the morning thing, that was so real. Like when she just grabbed it immediately.
Crazy. Yeah. It was crazy.
Wild stuff.
They nailed it.
Yeah,
they nailed
really did.
I said the first act, I'm going to backpedal. The first two acts are where I loved it. I does not feel, and I feel like the resolution with Lilypad, that character had to be done well. Mm-hmm. And I didn't feel that
I think way. I might disagree with you a little bit because how society is right now. I don't know if you can, I mean, you can live without electronics and devices and stuff. It's possible. Yes. It's possible. Yeah. But with how ingrained they are in our society, sometimes I feel like it's maybe not realistic to be like, expect your kid to just go play all the time.
Sure. No, I'm not making a claim of how dare we use iPads.
Right.
What I'm making more of a claim is you have a tremendous opportunity to really hit a home run and change the course of when it comes to screens.
Are you mad that Disney didn't make a statement in this movie?
No, well, they made some statements in other ways, in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. I would say, I think in an era, well, no, they were right up to the edge of their statement, Mark. Their statement was be in relationship, be in a friendship. This digital way is not the correct way to live a friendship. They were saying this. They attempted to get there with that, but they still, at the end of the day, were like, oh, we still have Lilypad in the room. And I think people just need to hear the point of these digital tools that Isaac is saying. And what makes them so amazing is that they connect with people, is that we are living in an era where this generation, Gen Alpha or whatever the next generation is called after that, is connecting globally. They can connect globally. Well, that didn't happen back in the day. That just didn't happen back in our day as millennials. And I think that needs to be very carefully assessed for parents. And it was just fascinating and also kind of gut-wrenching for me as a parent to see the parent's first decision. Well, maybe she does need an iPad to connect with her friends. When you could see clear as day, this kid is a happy camper. She's not the problem. It's the kids across the street that can't connect with her that are the problem. And I don't know, man. It just did not land well for me. And the two main protagonists of this show, of this movie, Tom Hanks's Woody and Tim Allen's Buzz Lightyear, were so sidelined. That's 2 in a row for Buzz that he's been sidelined and relegated to clones of himself being big time.
Yeah, definitely agree with that part. Back to the friendship thing though, at the end of the movie was really cool to see. Like, we had the final connection of Blaze and Bonnie, and then at the very end, like right before we're done with the movie, the kids across the street who she, you know, had tried to connect with earlier see that they're playing, and then they come over and play too. It's just like this chain reaction of, you know, like friendships and relationships and stuff. And I was like, that was really cool. That was a really cool way to show that. But yeah, I think it did a really good job of telling the story that it intended to tell. I think, like you had mentioned, the execution of some of that with Woody and Buzz and all of the other characters being majorly sidelined, little bit of a problem. I did like Jessie's story though. Jessie's delving into story was pretty cool, and the fact that she found like the lunchbox or whatever of all the memorabilia by the tree, and then she saw the picture, and when they said that Emily named her daughter Jessie, that was another moment that I was like, oh my gosh, named her Jessie.
Yeah, that was a great callback, Isaac. And that is an argument from Disney saying, actually, we did need to continue telling stories after Toy Story 3.
Great. There's more stories to be told in this universe. I think they did a great job with the direction of this one. Just like you said, the execution maybe wasn't quite as great as we all would have hoped. But I don't know. Where do you guys think this sits on your like Toy Story rankings? I mean, Mark, obviously, Toy Story 3 is probably at the bottom for you. But Toy Story 5, is that like in the middle? Is it still towards the bottom? Where does that sit for you?
In the middle. In the middle. The 3 for me. I think it was better than 4.
Oh, I think it's better than 4.
Yeah.
I think it was better than 4 too, Mark. As much as I don't like it, I agree. I think 4 wasn't strong at all. I don't think there's many themes needed to discuss in that. I certainly wouldn't put it anywhere near 1, 2, or 3.
No, those 1, 2, that original trilogy, man. If you're talking movie trilogies, I feel like I've got to put that Toy Story trilogy up with, you know, that. I don't know if I put it in the top 5, but a top 10 conversation of best movie trilogies.
Like are you talking about trilogies? Yeah, just trilogies themselves
in general?
Yeah, I agree. And look, there's an argument to be made. This trilogy, now that they're doing a second trilogy of Toy Story, this better end with Bonnie giving away the toys, and then somehow Andy ends back up with them,
and his like kids or grandkids or something have them. Yeah,
better end up back in a Goodwill or at a garage sale, or
that would be sick.
There better be a situation where that happens to reset this, or that's the definitive ending.
Maybe
loop it all back together.
Right, that'd be sick. I'd be down. So Toy Story 6, what are we thinking for that? If anything, that's so.
I know we talked about in the last podcast a little bit, or maybe it was on the Patreon, that I feel like they need to do a bit with Sid and his like has a conspiracy realm of like Toy Stories or toys can talk and has like a, you know, finds people that have similar experiences and like kind of dives into that a little bit. That'd be interesting.
That would be fun to have like.
And he's looking for Woody.
Post-credit scene.
He's got like a board of like he knows Woody was at all these things, and it has the airport for him too. It has the trash site from 3 and the daycare.
Was it 2 or 3 where we see him like as a garbage man? Like that's the whole we see garbage man.
I think it's in 3.
Yeah. So I mean, he's still in the area where it could happen.
Could happen. Is it Lotso? Is that what does it to you? You don't like Lotso? I'm still trying to wrap my brain around like why you don't like Toy Story 3.
Yeah, what doesn't work for you?
What do you mean? Just the whole shtick of it.
We're trying to
like you went into Toy Story 3, you watched it and you're like, man, this sucks. Like what specifically made you say it sucks?
I don't think I liked the daycare aspect of it. I think maybe it was that's what I'd probably hang my hat on. And also like the whole garbage, like them gonna be burned. I was just like, why traumatize children with that?
That was intense, dude. Oh my gosh. So legitimately, I think I did. So I remember Holly and I went to this with her cousin, who at the time was 5 or 6, maybe, or I think. And I legitimately like remember looking over at her and I'm like, This is pretty intense for a 5 or 6 year old.
Gonna
Like,
kill the toys.
they're gonna kill the toys. Like, what the heck? But still, that was one of those moments that just broke me. There's a lot of those moments these days, but that was one of those moments. Funnily enough, Toy Story 5 is the very first Toy Story to be rated PG. All of the other ones are rated G. Kind of interesting.
That's totally for the bullying scene.
Probably. Yeah.
Has to be for the bullying scene.
That's a little sad that that's the reason that it has to be PG.
I thought Conan O'Brien was really good in this too. Like,
True.
when he plays, what's the character's name?
Yeah, what's the
Crud? Mr. Porta Potty or something, or Poopy Pants or something. I don't know.
No, that's a Jackass.
Not Poopies.
Wait. This is different than Jackass? I thought we were doing Jackass.
He plays Smarty Pants.
Smarty Pants.
Smarty
there
Pants,
you go.
there it is.
I thought Smarty Pants was hilarious. I thought
He was good.
one of the stronger parts of this movie was Conan O'Brien's character, and even just observing how tech was 10 years ago
Right.
or 5 years ago,
Yeah.
in juxtaposition to now with smartphones and iPads,
Mhm.
was a really cool way to explore technology. How they connected the Wi-Fi and how they were communicating with the other iPads was really, I thought that was a unique spin. That
was so
Pixar
fascinating
did.
how they brought that into it, because like since Toy Story 2, we've been dealing with themes of like toys becoming obsolete, right? Like, or,
Yeah,
or like,
yeah.
like being passed on or whatever. And the fact that we're getting these electronics who are also now obsolete. Yeah, that was a fascinating, like, oh man, this is kind of crazy.
And if you loved the ending, if you loved the resolution that technology and toys coexist, that scene of them playing for the first time really hits for you, I'm assuming.
Right. Yeah.
And so I thought Craig Robinson was great too. And I loved the new lineup. I loved Blaze. I loved how they had like the old era of toys. And you have Ernie Hudson as Combat Carl. They're all just in that little house its grass has been overgrown.
Yeah,
and it's
right.
just so clear that a little girl was their owner in so many ways. And the more I think about this movie too, the more I wrestle as a dad. And this is no shot at anyone else. This is just for Max. Man, that dad just not being present and missing everything happening is really hard. And that's a cool thing that Pixar did, that they were able to capture that angst and anxiety that I think a lot of men who work, especially people work from home or that are just trying to connect with their kids that are struggling with that. I thought that was really, really cool. And
yeah, another kind of along those lines. I mean, up until this movie, really, and maybe Toy Story 4 a little bit too. We did have a little bit of that, but like we never saw dads in Toy Story. Like,
no,
Andy's dad. I mean, maybe he exists. He's
obsolete,
not around.
right?
He's not there. And then in Toy Story 3, Bonnie's dad isn't around either. And that could just be because most of it's at the daycare and that's where they're hanging out and he's at work or whatever. In Toy Story 4, we did get Bonnie's dad involved, but like 4 and 5 have been the first ones where we've actually even seen dads at all. But the fact that, like you said, they kind of make the point of that one dad being kind of just involved in his own stuff and his work in his room and missing all the things that are going on around him. It's a little sad.
Yeah.
But you mentioned one thing though that I do want to touch on too. The dream sequences in this, fantastic.
Oh, like the
good.
plane.
And how they did the art, it was almost like a 2D,
right.
like coloring, like you could see the child painting it.
Yeah,
that was creative and really, really interesting.
They've always done a great job at like those scenes in this, but the way they like kind of changed the art style, for when she was playing versus, in the other Toy Story movies, it's like just a real scene of what's, happening with the toys. I thought that was a cool perspective difference with Bonnie, as opposed to Andy or whatever. So I thought that was kind of cool.
And also pizza with sunglasses being played by Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, this guy is just getting the most random roles in movies and just somehow knocking it out of the park in a very, very short time with 1 or 2 lines. Just want to give that guy credit because I thought him and Happy Gilmore 2 was hilarious. I thought he was hilarious.
Remember when he was supposed to be El Muerto for Sony for like
yes,
a villain movie or anti-hero movie or something like that?
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever heard of him, honestly, is when they said Bad Bunny was going to be El Muerto. And I was like, Bad Bunny? Who's that?
Dude, he's having a year, man, with the Super Bowl and Happy Gilmore 2 and this. Like, last 365 days, that guy has been doing well.
He's doing what he's done to get himself into those shoes.
You tell me, Mark, what conspiracy theory do you think he's done
that was a very leading question.
What should I look for, Mark? You tell me.
Just Google it and find out.
Yeah, no. Why would I Google when you would just send me a grainy meme?
I don't
Why not do that? That sounds more fun.
High quality memes.
There's got to be some reels that you're going to send us.
Mark's like, I only said the finest 4K memes. Thank you very much.
I'm a Jones.
Okay, so I kind of asked Mark this already, but Max, where does Toy Story 5 like fit? Did you say it was last, or like where would you put it?
I'd put it at. I think I'll put it at 4 because of the messaging. I don't love the resolution, as I said, but I still think the story, to me, that story matters far more than the story of 4. The story of 4 just felt like kind of a follow up to 3. Yeah, so I'll say that. I'll say this too. Pixar, I almost wonder, and Toy Story 2 is so good.
Yeah, it's
so good.
Underrated.
6 out of 6.
Underrated. Yeah.
6 out of 6 movie. Not underrated. I would disagree. I think it's rated exactly where it needs to be. It's a
underrated in the sense that people don't talk about it. Like people forget that Toy Story 2 existed for some reason. I'm not sure why people.
It is so good. It's a 6 out of 6.
Yeah.
And they have. I wonder if they're kicking themselves that they went the route of the like collector toy thing because of how big collecting is now.
True.
I wonder if that shtick would have been even more impactful today.
True.
In a Toy Story 6. So again, it's so good that it doesn't matter. They did what they had to, but they were way ahead of the game in understanding that. With Al and Big Al's Toy Barn and that stuff.
So good.
They have that figured out, man. They are. And that's John Lasseter. And I wonder if John Lasseter had made this movie, how I would feel. I wonder if I'd feel different.
The world may never know.
Yeah, but Mark wouldn't like 3, though. Am I right, Isaac? He still wouldn't like 3. Lasseter was in that.
I'd mentioned a couple times that it feels like a kind of a direct-to-TV type of movie. What made me feel that way initially is that they just like jump right into it. Like most movies, there is a little bit of like build up, whether it's like an intro scene of a lot of different things happening and then you get into the main thing. I don't know, it just felt like it just jumped right into it and we were like, oh, all right, here we go, we're in the movie now, and now we're going. And Woody and Buzz being sidelined was a big part of it too, I think, because those guys are so important to the Toy Story franchise that anything that is not them just feels wrong or incomplete, I feel like.
Would the thought be like if they did Toy Story 6, it would have to be relatively quick? I mean, you got Asian actors for all the roles, really.
Yeah.
So
and Max said, like, hey, do we round out this trilogy, the 4, 5, 6?
Make it a saga.
And then are we done after that? Because like you said, yeah, we got these guys aren't going to last forever.
They're going to wait 10 years and redo a whole Toy Story with remake.
Well, then they're just going to recast everything. They would have to at that point. Well, I guess they wouldn't have to.
A live action Toy Story?
We're getting a little silly with this live action talk. How about let's not?
Dude, I think Mark is right. I think they're going to try it.
I wouldn't be shocked. Like, it's Toy Story.
Moana still looks stupid. That trailer still looks stupid.
Agreed. But if Toy Story 5, which we all kind of agree is like, you know, not top tier Toy Story or top tier Disney or maybe it's top tier Pixar. I don't know. We're gonna find out that in a couple minutes. But
I know
if it's not top tier and it's still making $1 billion. Like, they're just going to keep doing it, right? Like,
I mean, it's just easy money for them. And be
right.
like, oh, people love their Toy Story.
Right. Well, it's just like Lion King, the live action Lion King made $6 billion, which is shocking to me. I don't understand how that happened. But then they obviously went and made a sequel, which I have not even seen because I didn't like the first one. So
I hope Disney is catching the lesson of stick good stories that are in 3-dimensional or 2-dimensional mediums. Tell good stories in those mediums, and we will go to the box office. You don't have to make it live action to do so. And I think that is what this movie is proving, and what 4 proved. Whether the stories are great or not, they're still impacting the audience. It still has kids. You're taking 4 or 5 people when you go, and it's a trusted IP.
You know what's another thing they can make a ton of money on, or at least put it on Disney Plus, is use the play dream sequence stuff, and you could do like what ifs with the characters.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. That'd
Make
be a
that a TV
blast.
show.
Like just
People would like
shorts or whatever. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
You
I'd
basically
watch
do
that.
Toy Story characters in other Pixar movies.
My
Like
kids
someone's
love
pretending to play those.
the I Am Groot
Oh, yeah,
series, like
that,
miniseries or whatever. They would love Toy Story shorts. They would eat that up.
Basically, just
Absolutely.
Bluey length episodes. Just make them
Yeah,
5 or 6
right.
minutes and
Exactly.
make like 50 of them.
Even the bottom tier Toy Story, the bottom tier Pixar movie is still much better than the average kids movie out there these days. Like there's so much kids slop on Netflix and all of these other platforms that anything that's going to the theaters almost is guaranteed to be like at least an average movie, you know, these days. And maybe that is a byproduct too of just the theater industry and where we're at right now. But Pixar just has it, man. And their slop is still much better than most other people's
Isaac
slop.
only wants to eat Pixar slop, nothing else.
Give it to
and,
me.
And people were dogging Elio. I love Elio. I think
Elio's
Elio was
great. Yeah.
Elio
Yeah, it's
was
fun.
great. Better than
Mhm.
this movie, in my opinion. It's not going to make as much, but it's better than this movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I loved Hoppers.
Yeah, I loved Hoppers too. It was
Our
great.
family loved Hoppers. Hoppers was getting trashed on.
Mhm.
I'm with you, Isaac. I think Pixar, I don't think it's slop. I think it's just people are like, oh, tell unique stories. Oh my gosh. And
Well,
then
that's all
they
thing
are.
Pixar does. You got, like you just said, Elio,
Yes.
Elemental, Luca,
Yeah.
like Brave, even
Onward. Ooh.
Onward. Yeah, like those are all shows that were like unique, and
Yeah.
people
good.
didn't go like see them. But then you get mad that they do Toy Story 5 because they're like,
Right.
Toy Story 5 is going to make us $1 billion. It's going to pay for us to do those other movies that you keep crapping us.
Exactly. We can get you an Elio, we can get you an Onward if you give us a Toy Story 5. Boom, we're done.
Or even like what's the
This
one where they
movie will
try to
feed
Red
Pixar.
Panda, like that one, like, you know.
Yeah.
No, I didn't like that one. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
we
it's
didn't
alright.
like
No
that
crazy-
one.
no crazy-
It's fine. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't have like anything crazy to call about it. I just would say like Pixar, when Pixar misses, I'm significantly more forgiving than pretty much every other studio.
So speaking of that, let's go right into it. We got our top 6 Pixar films for closing out this episode.
We're going in 3, 2,
You're entering the top 6 on the Infinity Bros podcast.
starting now.
We're just going to go like one person at a time with our whole list. If you have, I hand in the air have honorable mentions because this might be one of the hardest lists that I've had to come up with on this whole podcast. I'm not joking. Pixar, there's so many good movies that I had to leave off my list. And I was like, I feel so bad that some of these movies are not on my top 6 because they should be. But, you know, you only got 6 slots. So eventually some people are going to have to get the cut. Top 6 Pixar films. You guys, either of you guys want to go first?
I'll go. I have 0 honorable mentions because of my past in the show. And then I go on to list like all
Scarred.
the
He's got
movies.
PTSD.
I was gonna say I have no honorable mentions because in my opinion, on a list like this, you don't. We all agree Pixar's got great things.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think you're slighting anybody by not putting them on your list.
Here's
That's
my
fair.
6.
That's
I
fair.
have at number 6, Elio.
Ooh.
Number 5, Coco. Number 4, Toy Story 2.
Mm.
Number 3, Incredibles. Number 2, Elemental. And my
Wow.
number 1 Pixar movie, Onward.
Number 1. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. And Elemental at 2.
Yep.
I am
Love
shocked.
those
You
are.
were a big fan of the new ones. That's
Oh yeah, they're great. That's why I say like when people are like they make nothing good or like nothing original, it's like
oh,
look at my list.
just
Go F yourself. That's how I feel about
yeah.
that.
I like those movies, Mark. I firmly disagree, and I'll just go next. I like every movie you listed.
I
just
dislike
fine.
your opinion of your ranking.
I
But
firmly
you're
disagree
Trash.
with you,
I
but
hope you sprain your ankle tomorrow.
I I hope a splinter goes in the middle of your hand after putting that list together. Number 6 for me is Toy Story. It's so good. Monsters Inc. is number 5. I love Monsters Inc. It is every time
It's
Mike
so
Wazowski talks to Roz,
so
I
good.
laugh every time. I think
great.
it is hilarious. Toy Story 2, we talked about this earlier. Brilliant. The whole Buzz and Zurg parallel to Star Wars thing still holds up today. It's
So
hilarious.
funny. So funny.
Just a side trivia note on Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2, in their credits, they do fake bloopers. Remember Pixar used to do fake bloopers?
Yeah.
And they did the Bugs bloop the blooper sorry, Bugs Life blooper, and they had all the cast of A Bug's Life talking, and then all of a sudden they swat him away. That was hilarious.
So funny.
Finding Nemo number 3. I feel like a generation was raised, or excuse me, number 3 is Finding Nemo. A generation was raised on Finding Nemo.
Mm-hmm.
I am controversial like Mark then at my 1 and 2. I go back to back. Inside Out 2 at 2, Inside Out 1 at 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think those movies are brilliant, unbelievable, and will be referenced potentially the rest of my lifetime when it comes to talking to people and my kids about emotions. Those are tremendous movies.
Let me refer to the text, people.
The ancient texts.
Those movies are unbelievable.
Actually talked to Holly before this. I asked her top 6 Pixar movies, and I was like, after we were just talking about it, and I was like, I can almost guarantee that Max will have Inside Out 2 at number 1. So
I went back and forth.
Yeah,
I did go back and forth.
Because I remember when that came out, you were so pumped about Inside Out.
I was like,
2.
I still to this day think Inside Out 2 may be one of the most important movies ever made in this generation.
Wow.
I mean, it was that impactful of a movie. It was so good. But Inside Out 1, I feel like if you're going to do that, you have to give it to Inside Out 1. That tiebreaker goes to the first one because it had to overcome being unknown.
All right. I got my list here. Number 6, I've got Onward. I loved Onward so much, dude. It gave me a lot of moments, like emotional moments in that movie. And I think any movie that has like that parent daughter or son relationship, man, those get me these days.
And that's a movie that came out right before COVID blew up.
Yeah. It was in theaters right when COVID hit.
It was the last movie I saw in theaters before.
Yeah, and then they ended up putting it on streaming. Like
put it on Disney Plus. Basically, was like, hey, we got Disney Plus for you guys that are at home.
Yeah. I associate COVID with Onward. Yeah. Onward is one of the things I think of during COVID.
That movie's so good though. Number 5, Incredibles 2. Incredibles is great. Incredibles 2 is also fantastic. Wow. Those movies are so great.
I gotta come back. This is why this list is so tough to make, because like everything we've said, it's like
I know
everyone behind 6 are like fighting for into the top 6. Like
I have this list of honorable mentions, and I literally just started writing out the whole Pixar like filmography, and I was like, what is the point of having this honorable mention list? This is stupid. Number 4, I have Inside Out, the first one. I did really like the second one as well, but that first one, that was so creative and just so, I feel like that was almost like a groundbreaking movie in terms of like movies. Like it's just fantastic. And once again, Inside Out 2, I absolutely love as well, but Inside Out, that one gets me. Number 2 and 3, I've got Toy Story 3 at 3 and Toy Story, the original, at 2. I do love 2. It's right up there with all of these other films. But Toy Story and Toy Story 3, Toy Story, I had a really hard time not putting at 1 because that original Toy Story, man, that's like changed the movie landscape with animation. Like, it's still so good going back to it. But Toy Story 3 was the first sequel that I was like, oh my gosh. And I was an adult at that point too, growing up with those characters. Yeah, that one was very impactful for me. But number one on my list is The Incredibles. The first Incredibles movie is, I can watch that back to back, like just on a loop. That movie is so great. The references that it makes, the superhero like lore behind it. Original superhero movie, Pixar, family friendly. It's phenomenal. I love that movie so much. But because I noticed there were some that didn't make either of your guys' list, there's some that I should mention here. Wall-E.
That was almost my sixth.
I wanted to put it on there so bad, but didn't quite. Ratatouille. That's another one that I feel like that one flies under the radar a little bit. People don't maybe remember it or realize that it is a Pixar film. Up, another great one.
Up was the one that I felt bad about leaving off.
That's another one that I really had a really hard time not putting on there. And then the other two I think that you had on your list, Mark. Yeah, you had a lot of new ones on your list, Mark. I was surprised about that.
A sucker for the original content.
That original content.
Okay, so now the question is, what's your bottom two Pixar movies?
Oh, that's
no order
good
necessarily.
question.
Like, you don't need to tell me your release favorite, but just like bottom two. I'll go first because I already know. My bottom two are Finding Dory and Cars 3. Those are my bottom two Pixar movies.
You liked Cars 3 better than Cars 2? Cars 2 is one of mine.
Bottom two.
Just straight garbage. Cars 2 is bad. I'm trying to think of my other one though.
Cars 2 and Lightyear for me. Give me Lightyear and Cars 2. I think
Lightyear. It's not amazing, but it's.
I know why Max doesn't like Lightyear.
Well, actually, no, I'm not going to say. I'm going to say.
Now he's got to backtrack. He's like,
I'm going to go Soul. No, I'm going to say Soul. I'm going to say Soul.
Oh yeah,
Soul. I'm going to put Soul. I'm going to say Soul in Cars 2.
Lightyear. I might go Cars 2 and Cars 3. Honestly, like Cars is not
I will
bad.
fight for Cars 3. I will fight for Cars 3.
It's much better than Cars 2, in my opinion.
Yeah. Lightyear just doesn't use, like, I thought Lightyear could have done a lot of cooler things with like the Zurg stuff and all that jazz. Like, I just thought Lightyear was not again, this is Pixar, so it's like,
right.
It's hard for me to be like any of them are like the worst thing ever, because none of these are the worst thing ever.
Exactly.
Just empirically.
I don't like Cars 2 at all, but it's still just like objectively a better movie than a ton of crap that 100%. Is on Netflix. Like, it's just it's a fine movie, you know.
I would never put Wall-E on this list, but I really, really enjoy Wall-E. Really enjoy it. I would never put Elemental on this list. Wouldn't even think that they could be in the top. It's a fun movie. I don't see a problem with other people doing it. So Finding Dory.
Apparently
I think
you did, because you literally was like, your list is crap. So
I was just surprised.
I would never make fun of anyone who has that list unless it's Mark. Then I will make fun of him.
I think the other thing too is I'm still trying to reel from you going at Toy Story. You know what? I'm not the bad guy here. You went at Toy Story 3. You're the bad guy.
I'm sorry. I'm apologizing. I don't like Toy Story 3.
You don't get to turn this on me. You're the bad guy.
No, you're the bad guy. I'm sorry that I have an opinion. At least didn't put it in his
bottom two.
I love it. Unless your bottom two. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that.
If we had to do a worst six list of Pixar movies, that would be interesting. I feel like we get a lot of conversation.
That'd be tough because it's like I could pick out three, but then it's like then you're putting some in there that are like they don't deserve to be, but they are.
Are you guys on the Good Dinosaur hate train? Because a lot of people hate Good Dinosaur.
Good Dinosaur is a house favorite or like kid favorite.
Okay.
I probably put Good Dinosaur on there because I don't know what else to put there.
Right.
True.
What were your guys' thoughts on Monster University? Like, that one's another.
I love that one. Yeah,
we love that at our house.
We watch that one all the time. I would say Finding Dory might be down there for me just because the impact that Finding Nemo had on me versus Finding Dory was like, Finding Dory was just like, a little whiff. But Finding Nemo was impactful. That one was.
Finding Dory was so funny.
It's hilarious. It is funny.
It's so
a good movie, but
I did not like Finding Dory. That's one where I was like, nah. No thanks.
Not for Mark.
See, okay. Yeah, Ratatouille has a really big following too, and that's one I kind of don't.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, Ratatouille I've never really understood. It's not like it's a fine movie. I've just never fully understood the oh my gosh, full-fledged love for that movie.
Anyone can cook.
Anyone can cook. You're
Anyone
absolutely
can
right.
Max.
Yeah.
And in fairness, Ratatouille is in Kingdom Hearts 3, so
There you go.
that makes it
Moana's
empirically.
not
I
even
can't.
Yeah.
I
Moana's not
can't
even
call
in
it a
Kingdom
bad
Hearts.
movie if it's in Kingdom Hearts. I'm not allowed.
Well, let us know what your favorite Pixar movies are. You can hit us up at The Infinity Bros on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, wherever we're at these days. Or you can email us at theinfinitybros@gmail.com.
Are we still on Mastodon?
I think Robbie did set up a Mastodon at one point. I have not touched it, so I'm guessing no. I think at one point I set up a Blue Sky as well, which I touch once every 2 or 3 months or something like that. But if you really want to hunt us down on those platforms, you surely can. I cannot guarantee that we will do a whole lot of interacting on those platforms, but you can find us at all the other ones. Pretty active on the rest of them. And like I said, you can email us at infinitybrospodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up at theinfinitybros.com, our website. Mark and Max, thank you guys so much for joining me. It's been a blast.
Glad to be here. Glad that you respect opinions.
Thank you for having me and for dealing with Mark.
And thank you, Infinity Bros Universe, wherever you're listening, however you're listening. Thank you so much for making us a part of your podcast experience. We love you 3000. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Infinity Bros podcast. You can find the Infinity Bros on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube at The Infinity Bros. You can also check out our website at theinfinitybros.com for links, reviews, and sweet merch. Feel free to send us listener feedback via social media or email at infinitybrospodcast@gmail.com.